Star Trek, The Next Generation panels. Any of you see that? The question was a really good one. It said, if you today go back in time and talk to yourself on the first day set of go talk to yourself at the beginning of the pilot, Battlestar Galactica. What would you tell yourself?
I'd go talk to Katie.
You're silent. Try and impregnate me or something. I wouldn't tell myself anything. No, I mean, like, you know, I started acting when I was like 16, and I never dreamed that Battlestar would be like the show that kind of like did it or whatever. But I don't think that I would have wanted to know. I think that my blissful ignorance was beautiful at that moment. I was only 21, and it was fantastic. I was such a baby. I was the youngest person on the show. I mean, Callie, I think, or Nikki was younger. But so I don't think I would have told myself anything, because I think I would have ruined it. You know? I would have ruined it. So I have a way of sabotaging myself. Hence the... It's totally legal. Like, unless you have a pot farm, you're fine.
Came out a little later, so tell us about that.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
you got to see it a little bit.
yeah. I can only say one thing. I had no idea. First of all, that I was going to stay on the show, you know, more than one episode. And when they actually kept me on the show, I thought it was incredible. And I have to say that, you know, I kind of picked out the girls that I wanted to, you know, have a little fun with. And, none of it came true.
Is that why you walked into my trailer the first day?
Believe it or not, Katie here, she what? Don't you think Apollo and Starbuck belong together? From the original, yeah. Starbuck was a chick then, she's a chick now. Oh my God. Third Benedict, wherever you are, we can hear that. I met Katie actually
doesn't watch Battlestar.
at a convention, and I was trying to get in line. I was late to the airport, and I'm sitting there. I swear to God, I'm sitting in line behind 10,000 people, and I'm trying to get up to get through, you know, customs and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm not going to make this flight. And all of a sudden, I'm just thinking it, and this girl who I don't know looks at me and waves me over. I'm thinking, who in the world would let you in line like that? So I went over there, got in line, got through, got to the airport, and then they picked us up, and the convention, and then there's Katie. And all of a sudden, and by the way, back at that time, I don't know if you know, but there was a lot of controversy going on between the old show and the new show, and, you know.
Really?
Yes. And I wrote a few little scathing letters, never against the new show, but for the old show, hoping they would continue the old show. And so, you know, there could have been a little dissension. You know, people feeling a little bit abused. So I saw you, and honestly, it really helped me because you were so friendly, you were so nice, you were so cordial, and
I was drunk.
I think you should stay drunk, Katie. Seriously. By the way, is she not hot? I actually had a dream. I gotta say this because, seriously, I only have 2 dreams where actually, have you ever had a dream where you actually could feel it, taste it? No! I had a dream where it was so real. I've only had 2 dreams in my whole life, and I swear to God, I I was not like thinking about Katie or thinking about where she is or what, but I had a dream about this girl. And I gotta tell you, it was the hottest sex I've ever had.
Before you guys keep going, all the kids under 14.
I wasn't going to share that. I apologize to anybody under 14.
You just had the birds and the bees talk with
anyway.
I learned about sex from the old Apollo. The only sex of his life was with Katie Sackhoff. The best.
Anyway, the only thing I would say about what I would have done if I went back was, you know.
I thought you were going to talk about what you would have done differently in the dream.
I'm actually turning red, all right?
Okay,
I feel red. I feel really heated up.
It's like I'm Ronald McDonald.
I can't even believe I shared that. Okay, I apologize.
Okay.
No, the only thing would have been, you know, I would have loved to have had one moment before I got flushed out the airlock. Unceremoniously, unfairly, by the way. But before I got out, I would have loved to have had one moment. Because when I came into the show, remember I had that scene with Jamie Bamber? And we got a chance to kind of do that bonding thing over the mythology of Apollo. And I just would have loved that last moment before I got blown out the airlock. I was actually thinking of putting together for conventions, like the last Zarek interview, you know? And then when I walk off stage, you hear the flushing sound as I go. You know? But I would have loved to have that last moment, just to kind of give a little insight into Zarek's motivations. That's what I would have loved.
Very cool. We're going to open the floor to questions. We don't have any mics, so we'll start. Put your hands up high, and I'll go around the audience. Over there. You.
I just wanted to say that when I introduced my son to Battlestar Galactica, the old series, and the first thing he said was, Starbuck was a man? And I thought that was worth saying.
I knew that would happen one day. So I kept my mouth shut when he wanted to.
Good thing you had that surgery, huh?
Up there.
I just had one dying question. In this series, in the very last episode, very last scene, when Guy says, you know who doesn't like it when you call him that? Six said, I forget the exact wording, but Six called someone God. And the guy's like, you know he doesn't like it when you call him that. Who did the writers mean? I think it's the old man, but I don't know. It always bothered me who it was.
Chief.
Next question. In the red shirt up there.
Okay, this is a question for God. I was actually just wondering if you had any dreams.
What?
Have you had any dreams during
I dreamt about Bamber a lot. Those British buns of steel. No, usually when I dream, I wake up beating the hell out of a small blonde woman. So. Sleeping as much as possible. Yeah, no. I have a dream, but that's a really long speech, and we don't have the time for it.
Okay. Over there, girl with red hair with pointy to her nose. Yes.
My question is for Katie. At the very end of last episode, I felt like there was a lot of interpretation left open to who Starbuck was or what she was. And I have my own theories, but I was just wondering if you had your own interpretation of it.
Say your theory first.
My theory?
What did you think about it?
was a reincarnation of Zoe from Caprica, who essentially was God for the title. I thought she was.
Security right up there.
Sorry, my cough's coming back. I had it for a couple weeks. It seems to be coming back. Pardon. I think that the writers did that on purpose because and left it, very I was looking for the ambiguous was sort of the word I was going for, I guess. I think because they didn't know what I was, really. And so I tried to give, I didn't know any of the mythology, like I never studied like Greek mythology, I never watched the original.
Security right there.
So I tried to live in that moment for her, what she was, and we all know that it was not Starbuck. Starbuck did die. Regardless of what she was when she came back, I don't know. But I do believe in the last moments, like me as an actor, I wanted to give this thing some sort of closure. And not for her, because I think Starbuck had her closure. I think she wanted the other people in her life to have the closure. So the moments with her, with Eddie, the moment with Truco, when, I do believe that he knew who she was. When he says, I'll see you on the other side. He and I made that dialogue up. There was no dialogue in that scene when he's in the tub and she's sending him off. And he and I made that up because I truly believe that whoever Starbuck was at the end was meant to be with him. So, and then the moment with Apollo, when it was just kind of like, if you rewatch it, when she's asking him what he's going to do now, as soon as I smile, I disappear. Because it was that moment where she wanted to make sure, it was that person's job to make sure Apollo was going to be okay, because that thing, whatever Starbuck was at the end, knew that the real Starbuck would want him to be okay. So before she could leave completely, she had to make sure that he was going to be okay. So, I don't know what she was, though.
I'm curious, was that the ending that you wanted? Were you happy with the ending for
I was, just purely because I said to the writers from the very beginning, please do not have her walk off into the sunset holding hands with Lee. Because it would never make her happy. Starbuck was never happy with being stagnant. And she would never have been happy on that planet. Because she would have had to stop doing what she does. So just don't do that, and whatever, they came up with, it was fine.